National media loves to throw shade on our QB1, Brock Purdy, but one former teammate told an inside story about Mr. Irrelevant, and it'll make you want to run through a wall with him. Friends, this is the kind of news that every single team in the National Football League wants to hear about their quarterback. As a bonus, Alex Smith also said some interesting stuff earlier this week that we haven't talked about yet on this channel, and we'll definitely cover that later in the video, so stay tuned for that. But if you're new here, I'm Nate, covering all things 49ers, and it does really help me out if you hit that subscribe button. Well, question of the day today, how good are you feeling about the 49ers' chances this season? I'd like you to answer, if you would, in the comments section with one of three possible answers. You are feeling better, you are feeling the same, or you're feeling worse. Are you feeling better about our chances going in and trying to win the Super Bowl this season? Are you feeling about the same as you think, like we're on par with where we were last year? Or do you think we're in some way better? There have been some roster changes. There's some folks that are just a year older. So let me know what you think in the comments. And I hope that by the end of this video, you feel even more positive about what's going to happen next. Well, Brock Purdy passes the eye test. And I know that Kyle Shanahan's offense did something special with Jimmy G. But when I watch Brock Purdy, I see something very different than I see with Jimmy Garoppolo. And it's been fun. I've started going back through the 2023 season and watching all of the games. And I forget, partially I think because of the national storyline, but I forget how athletic Brock Purdy is. He is sneaky athletic. And just watching him, oh, it's so great. It's so fun. And I think that he is head and shoulders above Jimmy Garoppolo, but because they both reached similar heights in terms of their success and how far they made it in the season, a lot of people compare them, and the national media coverage likes to say they're the same guy. Basically, this is Kyle Shanahan's offense, and if Brock Purdy were here or Jimmy G were here, it'd be the exact same thing. I don't think that's true, and I'm excited to tell you why today. We are truly in a special rookie contract window, and that is closing as Brock Purdy at the end of this season will be able to sign a contract extension. There are other guys on the 49ers rosters that are looking to get paid, or at least looking for that contract extension. So you know that it's going to get tighter every single year for the next couple of years. A lot of people are saying this is our year. So this is the kind of news that you want to be hearing when you get this kind of reality is facing your team, right? So the article here by Taylor Wirth is actually more about the possibility that he's going to get a massive contract, but I think what's in here is what's really interesting. So former 49ers safety Logan Ryan joined Keyshawn Johnson on his podcast, where he was asked about Purdy and the future of the organization. He says he's here to stay. I think they're going to give him a bag too. So meaning he's going to make lots of money. He's going to be like one of the highest paid. People will be shocked. Now that's what the main focus of this article was about. But I think what you should be really paying attention to, if you're a 49ers fan like I am here, is it didn't take the veteran safety long to realize just how secure Purdy's job was and how much 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan believes in this young signal caller. Shanahan loves him. Like true. Like I got there a week or so before we played Baltimore on Christmas. Remember that game? And he threw 4 picks. And a lot of those picks were tip balls. So it's just a bad day, a bad day at work. He didn't play great, but like he had 3 picks or whatever in the first half or third quarter, he's in the fourth quarter, still stepping in, still slinging it, like still throwing, trying to throw the ball, trying to win the game. And Shanahan said, I've coached a lot of quarterbacks. When quarterbacks have 3 or 4 interceptions, they're trying to check it down, protect, get out of there, get out of Dodge, not trying to take any more hits. He still stayed like kind of in his progression, but kind of had his gunfire about him, that dog about him. That's what you want to hear, right? Ryan, 11-year veteran, has played alongside many of NFL's top quarterbacks and came away impressed with Purdy's playmaking ability. He would always ask me questions about Tom Brady and stuff like that. And in the playoffs, I think you saw, like the 49ers were a team that's used to playing ahead in the playoffs. We got behind a bunch, and Purdy was coming in the second half, going to get it, making plays happen with his feet, with his arm. He got this dog ability about him on top of of the processing. I think he processed like a Kirk Cousins, but he also has this dog in him, though, that I don't think people fully see, but he does it to win games over there. All right, love the comments. My goodness. If that doesn't get you hyped about your QB1, I don't know what will. I mean, we could go into some stats. We could go into some other things maybe to try and hook it up, make you really happy. But when I read that, it's pretty exciting to me. And that's inside story, right? That's in the locker room. That's what Kyle Shanahan is supposedly saying, right? That's what actual players are seeing in the locker room. And outside of that, a few days ago, because I haven't covered this yet, although it's been sitting in my inbox as a potential, Alex Smith, former 49ers player, joined KNBR's Mark and Murph and Marcus, got that one all mixed up there, on Friday and called out all of the critics for their invalid criticism of the young quarterback. The naysayers out there, the doubters, I think it's just garbage, Smith said. I think these people are just trying to make headlines, and they're certainly not watching football. The guy had arguably one of the best seasons from a quarterback in the last 25 years. It was one of the best seasons the 49ers ever had at the quarterback position. And pause real quick, I'll pick this back up. Also going to say, if you look at regular season, better in a lot of the games. I'd be interested to do like game by game, how many great games did he have versus Patrick Mahomes, who had a pretty rough regular season. So just, while we're on the topic, that's 5 MVPs there, and to do it coming off of his elbow surgery, no off season, he's just continued to ascend. This guy's trending up, and here he's finally getting his full off season as a starter in the system. They've got a ton of stability, a bunch of guys coming back. I think he'll just continue to keep improving. The numbers, he had an unbelievable year statistically. Purdy set the 49ers single season franchise passing record last season with 4,280 yards, while also throwing 31 touchdown passes and just 11 interceptions. I don't know if you forgot that, but it's nice to hear those stats. When we look around at, because of all the draft and everything, I've been looking at other people's stats, and it's like, oh, that's right. Holy smokes. Coming off a major elbow surgery, obviously 12-5 record, NFC's number 1 seed, and then lost in overtime to the Kansas City Chiefs, which we won't talk about right now. But look, I don't know how you feel right now, and let me know in the comments if you feel like this is all just looking through red and gold glasses, but I feel really positive about this. This actually gets me more hyped about the upcoming season. It makes me feel more positive about my pick and the games that I'm expecting that we're going to win and lose, which, by the way, will get updated on Wednesday when we get that schedule release. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. But here's what I have so far, which is 13-4, and I have a lot of 50-50 games on here. There's a lot of some of those away games are really dependent on what time of the season that they happen. When's the bye week? There are all sorts of different factors that are going to make a big difference. Are we traveling overseas? But I'm feeling better about my 13-4. There are moments where I'm like, I don't know, man. That's pretty aggressive. But I read this stuff. I read what Alex Smith is saying, and I think, man, shoot. He is a really good quarterback. And yes, it's a good system. Yes, there are good weapons. Yes, Kyle Shanahan is a great offensive mind. But goodness, we also have a fantastic quarterback. And as always, you know what that means. What a time to be alive.